Hey guys, Nishquick here, and finally, after 2 long years, we got a new look at The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel at Nintendo's E3 2021 Nintendo Direct on June 15th. What we got honestly surpassed my expectations for the game. When they said they would be revisiting the same Hyrule, I was a little nervous, but the fact that they're bringing back a concept from Skyward Sword, wow. Breath of the Wild is marketed as being an open world game, or more like an open air game, but now this sequel is actually open air. So in this video I'm gonna do sort of a breakdown / analysis of the trailer, give my thoughts on the new additions to the gameplay and story, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So before I get started, I just wanted to remind you, if you enjoy this video and the content I make, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel, Nishquick Pops. I'm constantly trying to grow the channel and provide the best content possible, so showing your support would mean a lot to me. If you're a fan of the content, be sure to share this video with someone who you think will enjoy it as well. With that out of the way, let's get started. So the trailer supposedly starts back in the catacombs under Hyrule Castle, where the first trailer took place back in 2019. Link's hand is engulfed by the malice that possibly is emanating from Ganondorf's body. Then Ganondorf does his Night King hand raise. And I think this is what raises the castle. Then Zelda falls. But I don't think she's dead like many people are claiming. I'll get back to that later. And then we get a glorious shot of Link falling from a very high point in the sky down to an island in the sky very similar to Skyward Sword. I gotta say, I didn't think the floating islands and sky exploration would really happen, but many others did. I gotta give a shout out to Andres Restart and Rob from Rule of Two Review, two amazing YouTubers whose content I love, and they proposed this idea in a podcast a few weeks back before E3. I'll link their channels and the podcast in the description below so you can check out what they predicted. They literally predicted that Breath of the Wild 2 will be in the sky, and it's pretty awesome that they did. Another thing people got right, which was a little more obvious, was the fact that the main mechanic of the game would be centered around Link's arm, because we saw that green energy latch onto Link in the 2019 trailer. There's some cool things Link does with it, but I'll get to that in a little bit later in the video. One thing I want to mention is how different Link looks in this trailer, but he only looks this way in the sky. I've heard people say he looks like a Greek god, so yes, this game doesn't take place in Hyrule, it takes place in ancient Greece, confirmed. I'm just kidding, but I have to say Link's attire is not very quote-unquote modern compared to the armor he wears in Breath of the Wild, like the ancient armor set, for example. Also, why is he wearing this a little old garb in the sky, only in the sky? My guess is it has to do with a certain clan of people we've heard a little bit about in Breath of the Wild, but many YouTubers are getting tired of. It's the Zonai. Just a theory. But what if 10,000 years ago with the first calamity, the hero who sealed Ganon away was not a Hylian but a Zonai? What if he sealed Ganon away and kept him sealed with that ancient Zonai arm we see in the 2019 trailer, only for it to latch onto Link when Link is corrupted by Ganondorf's malice? Once that Zonai arm latches onto Link, he's imbued with the spirit of the hero of 10,000 years ago, changing his appearance. Also, in addition to that, the Zonai themselves must have taken to the sky after the calamity ages ago, and don't allow outsiders there, so maybe that's why Link's appearance changes to look more like a Zonai? I don't know, it's just a guess, but Link could look that way because of many other things, too. The thing that really caught me off guard was a tweet from Hyrule Gamer, who says that Link's appearance in the trailer looks a lot like the tapestry image shown to explain the calamity 10,000 years ago by Impa in the first Breath of the Wild game. But what if the man we see flying in the trailer isn't even Link? We don't even see his face. I mean, I think it is Link. It's like 90% chance that it is, but there might be a reason we aren't seeing his face. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now for some miscellaneous things I saw in the trailer. I really hope this enemy you're seeing on screen right now is a Beamos. I mean, because of the orange eye, and the real reason I wish it's a Beamos is because they're one of my favorite Zelda enemies, and I missed them in Breath of the Wild. I mean, I'm pretty sure they weren't in there. I don't really remember them being in there. I mean, their concept was used to create the Guardians, I'm pretty sure, but they've appeared in most of the 3D Zelda games and 2D Zelda games, like Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and so many other games. So to see them return in Breath of the Wild sequel would be awesome. The fact that Bokoblin camps can be on top of stone taluses now is an amazing concept. This will definitely make fights against these enemies a lot harder. Also, Bokoblins have longer horns now. Interesting. We'll see what this means. Maybe they're a little stronger, or maybe the malice of Ganon has kind of corrupted some enemies. I don't know, we'll see. Also, I like Link's new shield add-on he's got with a flamethrower. That's pretty awesome. I haven't seen the Master Sword or any other kind of melee weapon much in this trailer, but does that mean that the mysterious arm and these shield add-ons will be our primary means of combat in the game? I just hope the Master Sword doesn't get destroyed, but if it does, could this even be the end of the Master Sword in the Zelda continuity as we know it and a start of a new era for the franchise? I don't know, just a thought. Okay, more about the mysterious arm now. It's cool they're adding something that they had an initial concept art for the first Breath of the Wild game, but didn't implement. But I just wanted to say, I really have to hand it to the Zelda team and Nintendo EPD for making every Zelda game feel fresh and unique. Most Zelda games have the same formula: fight enemies, go through dungeons, beat bosses, etc, etc. But there is that central mechanic that makes each game a very unique experience, setting it apart from other games in the series. I'm just going to go through some examples. Of course, Ocarina of Time had time travel with Child Link, Adult Link. Majora's Mask had the 3-day cycle and the many masks you can wear. Wind Waker had sailing and the changing of the wind direction. Twilight Princess had you playing as a wolf. Skyward Sword took place in the sky and had one-to-one sword play. Breath of the Wild had the Sheikah Slate and open air exploration. Even the 2D games like A Link to the Past, which had the Dark World and Light World, and Minish Cap, which allows you to turn tiny, so you can go into small little areas in the game, and I can go on and on. Each of these games had a central mechanic that set it apart from other games. Looks like Breath of the Wild 2's mechanic will be centered around that mysterious arm that latches onto Link. Of course, the sky exploration as well, but I think the arm will take center stage, like how the Sheikah Slate did in the original Breath of the Wild. We unfortunately don't see much of the arm in action, but we do see Link rewind time and send some spike balls returning to the enemies who rolled it back at him. This is another time-centered mechanic similar to Stasis in Breath of the Wild 1. Since the flamethrower clip came right after the rewind clip of the spike balls, I thought it was another arm technique, but after careful viewing, I realized it's just a shield add-on. The next thing is interesting. A water droplet rewinds and sort of sends Link up onto an island in the sky, where he phases through the ground like Vision does in the Marvel movies, and I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a cool way to get back up to the sky, but I also hope we can phase through other objects in the world, like in dungeons and other places in the overworld. I think it could add for some cool puzzles like A Link Between Worlds had for the wall merging mechanic. Next in the trailer, of course, Hyrule Castle rises at the end, but it doesn't rise as high as I thought it would. Maybe the more you progress through the game, maybe the more powerful Ganondorf gets, the higher it rises. Okay, so before I close out, here's one last thing I wanted to talk about. Yes, I told you guys earlier I would talk about what happened to Princess Zelda. We see her falling into the dark abyss, and she's pretty absent for the rest of the trailer. I thought this. The first look we saw of the game in 2019 showed Link and Zelda exploring a cave, underground, most likely underground Hyrule Castle. And this trailer showed only Link exploring the skies above Hyrule. So what if Zelda is stuck in the caves, and you get to play as her, but in side missions, or in small intervals in the game? Say, for example, you as Link beat a major dungeon or part of the game, and to add more to the story or give the player some change of pace, maybe the point of view could switch to Zelda, and we play as her down in the catacombs of Hyrule, below, trying to escape as she learns more about Hyrule's dark history. And eventually the two heroes would meet up again on the land before teaming up to tackle Ganondorf together. Just a thought I had to expand Hyrule even more from what we've seen in the trailer. Just imagine sky, land, and underground, all three explorable in the game. This would be something revolutionary in the world of open world and open air games. Also, if you do get to play Zelda, I hope she has the Sheikah Slate, because if that's entirely gone from the game, I would kind of miss it, because I had a lot of fun with it in Breath of the Wild. I really don't think Zelda is dead. In the end of the trailer, before it cuts to the year 2022, we heard Zelda's lullaby. This is definitely a hint to tell us she's still around and will play a large role in this game. So that pretty much sums it up for what I thought about the trailer to the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This and Metroid Dread truly made the E3 2021 Direct amazing for me. And like I said, this trailer surpassed my expectations for the game and made me even more excited for what is to come eventually and for that eventual 2022 release. So, what did you think of my predictions and thoughts? What did you guys think about the trailer? What are you guys most excited for in Breath of the Wild sequel? Sound off in the comments below. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel, Nish Quick Pops, for more Nintendo and video game related videos. This is Nish Quick signing off. Have a great day.